Yeah, it's a 5-5 game, and I'm under the gun +1, and I got a suited ace, queen of hearts, and let me see, I got 1,355 stack.
Okay.
All right, so I think there's a limp from under the gun. I raised to 35. A late position calls. I in the moment I kind of froze, but after the hand I realized he had reballed probably 2 or 3 times. I should have factored that into my decision, but yeah, he calls. He's got 1335. He's got just slightly less than me.
Okay.
And then the small blind, who's got like 400, and he's basically a Shreveport legend, the oil guy, just pretty much goofing. He's got 400. He calls.
Okay.
All right, so the flop around 110, they do a rake, and this is a home game. It's not at Horseshoe.
So does the limper fold? So limper folds.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does.
So 3-ways about 110. Where's this played out of, by the way?
Bossier City, Shreveport. Bossier City, Louisiana.
Oh, okay. So that's actually not. I don't think that's that far from me. Maybe a 5-hour drive, but I've never been there.
You're not really playing live right now, are you?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, I'd like to play in them card rooms, but I think you playing would assist in it. That'd be 4 or 5 hours.
But they got hit by the hurricane too, or several hurricanes this year, right?
Like in Lake Charles, Shreveport's pretty north, so
okay.
They're all right.
I think I might be confusing it with Lake Charles.
Yeah, the poker rooms have just been shut down since COVID, and the casinos are open, but the poker room's not for some reason.
Oh, okay. All right. So 1 limp, ace, queen of hearts to 35, late position call, small blind calls. We had the stacks up about 1355 effective ish. 3-ways, $110 to the flop.
Yeah, flops 8 of hearts, 6 unknown suit, 2 of hearts.
All right, 8 of hearts. I'm going to put 6 of spades, 2 of hearts.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right, so you got the nut flush draw and 2 overcards, right?
Yeah. I have a good hand. Okay, and so the small blind just jams, just open jams for
3.
I have 325.
Yeah, something like 350 or something like that. We're gonna put 350.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and even I pretty much I called. And I was just expecting LP to just fold because that was such a large bet, and well, anyhow, I call and then LP jams. So by the time the dealer gets done counting, it's 1,000 more to me, and I froze. I ended up. Well, anyway.
Well, all right. So let's look at this. Yeah, let's take a look at this spot here and do some structured hand analysis and take a look at the pot odds and things like that. So small blind open jams. Now you have the nut flush draw to 8 of hearts, 6 of spades, deuce of hearts, or the pre-flop raiser with ace queen of hearts. Usually if the small blind, if he flops something big, usually you'd go for a check jam. Like I just never buy that this is going to be like a set. You know what I mean? I don't even think it's really even that 2 pair. Usually what this is going to consist of is usually like a flush draw. There's less combos of a flush draw because you have it, but he might have a combo draw like 9-7 of hearts, 5-7 of hearts, pair plus flush draw, something like that. Yeah. Or he was playing like a stop and go with like 9s or 10s. It doesn't really matter because, you've got great equity against that range of hands from him because you're, fairly far ahead of a combo draw. And then, you're flipping basically with like 9s or 10s, or I don't know if he's crazy, just like an 8 or something like that, as long as he doesn't share an ace. So at least 50% equity there, you're getting 2-1. So 350 in a call. So that's 700. So now the pot is 810. And now this guy behind you moves in for 1,000 more. So we'll call it 350 times 3 is 1050. Add that to the 110. So that's 1160. I think the pot is about 2150 or so. 1,000 for you to call. If I'm doing the math outright here, because he's got, like I said, like 1,000 more, and you guys have put in 1050 on the flop. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like 1160, yeah, 2150, 2160, 1,000 to call. So you're getting 2-1. Now, obviously, when the LP moves all in over the top after you call, normally that's going to be, I think, should be a really strong hand, in the sense that it's just so unlike. I mean, I guess he could maybe do it with a combo draw, but it doesn't. People don't understand. Like, it doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense to do that, because if I've got 9-7 of hearts here, I still have to beat the other guy in the pot as well. So, it's one of these things where I guess, like, if he had 9-7 of hearts and he can get you to fold like an overpair, maybe if the small blind doesn't have a pair, he can sort of clean up some of his outs and get you off the nut flush draw occasionally too, and like maybe have like a pair up. But I'm going to say that usually this is almost like a set. See, the thing is that if this guy's got a set, you are a 3-1 dog. So you're 75-25. And I just know that off the top of my head, because he's got outs to obviously pair. You're getting just over 2-1. So really you would need probably like 3-1 if he turned over a set, but maybe he doesn't always have a set.
Yeah.
If he's got like top 2 pair and you've got ace queen, it's probably more like, I would say you're probably like low 30s, maybe 70-30, something like that. So this is one of these spots where, it's probably a very, very small EV loss to call here. I think probably very, very close.
Oh,
I think it's probably,
okay.
I mean, it's probably very, very close. Like, I don't think by any stretch of the imagination, it's just like a snap call. Like, some people are like, oh, I got the nut flush draw. But I would gamble in these spots, like in certain live scenarios. I know you said it was a home game, but where I cut my teeth in California, a lot of times, like at these levels, this is a restricted buy-in. These are restricted buy-in games. Like, it might be like a 5-5, 1K cap. And you can take these little spots that are like, maybe you're like a couple percentage points like behind, because overall it will actually lend to a larger winning session, either because you'll win and you'll get more chips in front of your stack and you'll cover everyone if there are several other deeper players at the table. And then even if you lose, that guy has more money. So basically, like, you're gambling to get more money on the table. Now that's in a cap structure. Like, if it's match the stack, like I'm accustomed to, like in Texas, then it probably doesn't matter. I think it's probably very, very close. And I would sort of lean towards a fold, but I don't think it could be that bad to call, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because the guy next to me said it was a slam dunk call. And the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe it was. But...
So did you fold?
I did fold. I folded.
Okay.
And the under the gun guy had a naked 8. I mean, it was just like 8 jack or maybe
a naked 8.
And
the small blind.
Yeah. Yeah, the small blind
did,
and the late position had a combo draw. It was I think it was 7-5 of heart.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's I mean, see, that's like that's the thing. Like, I mean, obviously, like if you put all sets into cruncher for the guy like in late position, but then you also throw in like a couple of combo draws. The problem is that there's only 2 combo draws that are really, really big here, like 9-7 and 5-7. That's only 2 combos. If you give him all the sets, that's 9 hands. So when you do structured hand analysis, what I like to sort of just like round it into like a fractional thing that I can sort of do in my head. So let's say, for example, we say he's got 8 of the sets and he's got, say, 2 combo draw. Or actually, let's say he's got 9 of the sets and let's say he's got 3 combo draws, right? So let's say like against the combo draws, I'm just winging this. Maybe you're 70%, let's say you're 70% against the combo draws, but against the sets, you're only 25%, right? Well, the way that you would figure that out is you would weight the sets 3 times when you're basically doing like a little math calculation in your head. So, an average is the sum of the trials divided by the trial. So what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm 25 times 3, right? Because he's got 9 combos of sets and 3 combos of combo draw. So I'm going to give him I'm going to reduce it down to 3 to 1 to do my math. So it's going to be 25 plus 25 plus 25. And then that one time I'm 75. So 25 plus 25 plus 25, 75 plus 75 is 150. And I'm going to divide by 4. And 4 into 150 is like what, 37, 38. So if he's got 3 times more sets and you're 25% against sets, and then, well, I think I said 75, but I meant to say 70. But 25% against sets, so 25 plus 25 plus 25 is 75, plus 70 is 145, divided by 4. Divided by 4, and you get 36%, something like that. So that would mean that you just need to get, say, 2 to 1. You also got to throw that other guy in there too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to also say, like, well, is he always doing this with combo draws? Because then if you start to do it like you're down 4 to 1, now it's 25 times 4 is 100 plus maybe one time where you're 70. So now that's 170 divided by 5. And you start to get into like, okay, well, now I'm like 34, 33%. So it's probably close. But you probably were kicking yourself afterwards, though, right?
Oh, yes. Because, well, I was worried that the small blind had hearts. I mean, obviously it's more than just one hand for the range. But then I was thinking the late position had a set, and I was like, small blind blocking my hearts. And anyhow, the river was a queen.
Oh, wow. And you would have scooped
it was fine. I mean, that's fine,
Yeah, I mean, some people, some old timers like will look at this like if they're in a session, if they're winning, they'll fold, and then if they're, you know what I mean, to like lock down a win, and then if they're losing, like they'll go for it. I never really looked at it that way. I think that there are intangibles that go on with image, like if you have a winning image, and then also too, part of the reason why I don't run it more than once a lot of times is because I feel like I have a better sort of mental control than my opponents. So if I lose, it won't affect me, but if they lose, it'll affect them. But anyways, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
If you like what you've seen here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this call in hand, hit the like button down below. To check out crushlivepoker.com, click on the link in the description. Use the code YTA300 to get the first 30 days for free.